Hello 9IG, this is Mujahid Sardawi and welcome to the computer science class of 14th of April 2020. Today we want to continue with page uh, 100 and 101. In the previous class we talked about and we started with cookies and we talked about the war driving security ethics, security threat. Then we talked about spyware key logging software and I gave you some examples, and we worked with the wiggle.net tool or a website. So today, let's continue with the cookies. In the previous class, we defined the cookies as uh, packets of information. Pay attention to this. So cookies are not a software. There are packets of information sent via web server to the web browser. Okay, so let's highlight this definition. Cookies are or is a packet of information sent by the web browser server to the web server to the web browser. Okay, highlight this part. And cookies are generated each time the user visits the website. Highlight also this. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about the web server. What is a web server? Every website has a specific server, or maybe sometimes the different servers are scattered everywhere. So these web servers are saving all the data of this of the certain website. So you have a PC or a computer system which has a web browser. When you connect to a certain website, you are connecting to this website's web server. So what's gonna happen here is that this web server will send you these packets, the packets of information, each time you enter or you visit this website. Okay, so this message is frequently displayed, saying sometimes when you see these messages, says cookies are required to access this site. Let me give you an example: cie.org.uk. Let me see if they're gonna give us a cookies message or not. Let me see. Okay, can you see now here in the bottom? We use cookies by clicking any link on this page. You are giving your consent for use to set cookies. When I click accept, it means I am receiving the packets from this website, which is the website of Cambridge. So this is an example of how the web server of Cambridge website sent me the packets or the cookies. Okay, so or sometimes every time, or let's say every time a user visits a website, cookies will have collected some key information about the user. So let's highlight what cookies or cookie packets does. We want to highlight this part. They are able to carry out user tracking and also maintain user preferences. So let's select the second function or the second purpose of using cookies. Let's go down. On a music website, for example, the cookies will have remembered the user's previous buying habits and message. Like this often follows customer who bought item in your recent history, also bought Y or something. So again, cookies, remember something, cookies are not programs, but are simply pieces of data or packets. So highlight this. They can't actually perform, they cannot actually perform operations. So don't worry about the cookies. They are not executing something on your PC. They are not installing software, or they are only packets. They only, so let's highlight this in green. They only allow the detection of web pages viewed by the user on a particular website and store user preferences. So preferences, as we described in the previous paragraphs. The information gathered by cookies from an anonymous user profile and does then contain personal information such as credit card numbers or passwords, because the information they do collect, however, they are subject to privacy and security concerns. Okay, so let's highlight this part because of the, as we said, the security issues. Sometimes we have anonymity. Okay, so cookies again. Cookies are not piece of software. They are packets sent from the web server to your PC or to your web browser when each time you go to a certain website. Now let's get started with the second topic here, which is loss of data and corruption. In this section, we we will cover some of the potential impacts on data caused by accidental maloperation. This is number one. Secondly, hardware malfunction and software malfunction. And let's see the differences between these impacts or potential impacts. Also, on a computer system, we have safeguards and we have recovery methods, how to recover from any accidental problems or corruption. So this figure, figure 8.8, page 101, is very important figure. It shows the how to prevent the loss or corruption of data uh, when you have a problem or accidental loss of data and so on. So first the problem is called accidental loss of data. The point that we mentioned earlier here. So, for example, the accidental deletion of a file. Let's say that you are working on a certain file and accidentally you deleted something. So what to do? The second threat or the second problem, hardware faults such as hard crash on the hard disk drive. You have a certain hard disk and suddenly it stopped working. You have a crash or because of vibration or something. So this is called a hardware failure or hardware fault. The the other fault is called software fault. So this is in the hardware level, and we have in the software level. For example, in the software level, we have incompatible software installed on the system. You install the software which is intended for Mac OS, while you are having a Microsoft in your PC. So this is a software fault. Or maybe sometimes you install the software which works with 64-bit systems and your system is 32. Okay. The last one is incorrect computer operation, incorrect shutdown procedure, or incorrect procedure for removal of a memory stick. Sometimes your USB device can be destroyed by only unintentionally removing the memory stick without closing it properly. So let's see how can we fix all of these problems. One of the ways to protect yourself from accidental loss of data is to use a backup and save your files on a regular basis. Each time you finish your work, you should save it regularly. And use of passwords and user ID to restrict access to unauthorized users. While in the hardware fault, You should also back up. Use of UPS. UPS is a device which allows you to continue working even if you disconnect from the power source. Also save your data in regular paces, as we said earlier, and use a parallel system such as backup hardware. So parallel systems are devices are connected to your device, which saves the data in a parallel way. While you are working, the data will be saved in these devices. What about the software fault? We also need to make backup. We need to save the data in regular paces, and you can install some special software for checking the compatibility of your of the programs that you installed on your PC. Finally, incorrect computer operation. You should also backup. Pay attention that we have backup as a problem in all the situations, and correct training procedures so that users aware of the correct operation of hardware. So if you have employees in your company and you have lots of computers inside offices, you have to train the employees on how to do the work in a proper way without causing problems or mal operation or problems with the computer operation. So this is all for today's class. I want you guys to go back to page 101 and try to study this diagram again. Next time we will talk about the firewalls and proxy servers. This is all for today. Thank you. Goodbye.